Alrighty, thank you for joining me, everybody. It is Wednesday morning, middle of the week. Man, this week really went by fast for me. You guys ever have that where you just get so busy that week just seems to just start flying? You're like, oh my goodness, it's Wednesday. What's so interesting about being an entrepreneur as opposed to, let's say, just an employee is that, your week tends to fly. Hold on, I'm just checking my audio. I always got to make sure I've got that rolling. I do. Your week just seems to fly. All of a sudden it's Friday, but when you're an employee, man, the middle of that week's like, oh my gosh, this week's taking forever. So funny how that dimension changes. And I have to admit, I would rather deal with racing that week and feeling like I don't have enough of it than experiencing that dread that so many employees feel when they feel that that week is just taking too long. I mean, wouldn't you rather just take those challenges on as an entrepreneur? I'm going to raise my hand right now. As Tony Robbins says, say I, right? So very excited to be here with you today. Why are we here? Well, this is the Morning Mindset. We do this every day, Monday through Friday. Give you guys some good perspective. Get my own personal perspective solid. I do this for you. I do this for me so that we can make this week count, so that we can really do something valuable with our time today. Because what matters is that you get in state now, you get that emotional drive, you got to make a difference immediately. You got to work in the moment to get things moving in your life and get your business moving forward. So that's what we're here doing today. Get a pen, get a notebook. We're going to talk about a subject. I'd like you to take some notes. After we're done, spend a little bit of time maybe figuring out how you can take what we learned today and apply it to what you're planning to do for the rest of your day. So Morning Mindset is here with me, Beto Paredes. If you're listening to a recording of this webinar, you can join us anytime live, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, simply by going to tinyurl.com/MMS today, and you can join us here. So today's subject, always start with a clear mind. Wow, is this one really important? So this morning specifically, me and my wife, we have a pretty solid routine. We get up in the morning, we work out. This morning was a little bit off because we didn't quite get enough sleep last night. A number of things might have been. And we started talking about business. We try not to talk about business till we get to work. Sometimes we do. And I felt somewhat overwhelmed with the number of things that needed to be accomplished, and even talked a little bit about that overwhelming experience I had. Well, lucky for me, every morning my wife and I, we meditate. We stop everything, clear our minds, literally sit there and go into a moment of Zen, so to speak. And literally for 15 minutes every morning, we'll concentrate on meditation, on clearing our field completely, clearing our minds. And this morning, it was so incredibly necessary for me to do that, because having that cloudy experience or that overwhelm running through my mind, especially as early as it was, 5 o'clock in the morning, was already giving me the wrong tone for the day. It was setting it incorrectly, inappropriately, and that was just so unnecessary. So I took the time to clear my mind, as I do every morning, but this morning it was just so much more important that I did. Okay, so let's talk about it. Always start with a clear mind. After you have calculated what needs to happen today based on the work done yesterday, clear your mind. Do not attach yourself to the results. What does that mean? So when you sit down and you look at your day, I've got a business partner, Leroy Gambrel. We this morning, and I think we're going to start doing this every morning, we got together and really looked at our day, looked at what things look like. What are we going to do? How are we going to accomplish the things that have to be accomplished today? Well, we calculated it and figured it out, estimated it, put things in line. But after you do that, it's really important to take a couple of moments to clear your field. Because even if you don't have clutter on your desk or clutter on your computer, if you've got a cluttered mind, then you're not going to be able to really take massive action and focus on something specific, or the one thing you know you should be doing right this moment. Okay, so it's important that you make a decision about what it is that you're going to focus on, but that you get your mind clear before you even start, so that you can take that clutter, put it aside, and get the one thing that matters the most in your mind focused on so you can really, really do something powerful. And what do I mean by not attaching yourself to results? So when you start thinking about being finished instead of being creative and penetrative and in the moment and imaginative and using your genius, if you just think about, I got to get this done, 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 instead of letting that artistic aspect of yourself take over and be really almost in a state of no time while you're in the midst of doing something specifically, what ends up happening is every single thing in your mind that has a deadline, okay, which if you're an entrepreneur, you've got at least 15, 20 of those things in your mind at a time, all of those things come flooding back into your mind because they're all related to that idea of a deadline. Okay, because there's a million things you got to do, and if you're good, then in the morning before you really get started, you will plan out exactly what that day looks like. Most of the time, people that have enough gumption for that, enough foresight, will have a bit of a plan or really a solid plan for how their day is going to go. Okay, 8 to 10 hours a day is not that hard to plan in about a 30-minute period in the morning. So if you know exactly what you can basically accomplish, tighten it up. Now, of course, if you end up with extra time, put something else in there. I'm not saying sit around if you get something done and stretch, okay? Right? If the game's on, the game's on. What I'm saying is deliver yourself from that lust of results, okay? Because if you start thinking about the deadline the whole time, you're going to start thinking about all the other deadlines because your mind will gather correspondences of relative information based on what you're concentrating on. I got to get this done. Then you're like, well, I got to get this done too. I got to get that done. I got to get this done. That's not even close to done. This is never going to get done. All you get is clutter. So you can't allow yourself to think prospectively that way. Be creative. Be in the moment. Use your perception of state. Get into that moment emotionally, be engaged, be in it, immerse yourself in what you're doing, okay? You will accomplish more. Focus more on velocity and precision rather than time, okay? In all retrospect, if any of you are into biocentrism or into physics or quantum mechanics, they've basically proven that time really has no existence, only in our minds, okay? So stay focused on what you're working on. Don't think about the fact that you've got this deadline, got to get it done, got this deadline, got to get it done, because that will attract way too much crap, okay? In fact, I'll use the official word. It'll attract too much bullshit into your head when you're in the midst of actually trying to concentrate on something, okay? So keep a clear picture of the moments when you were surprised about how well something went and stay open to good things to happen to your business. What do I mean by that? You ever have that experience where something just really went right, or you had a really good phone conversation, or you just had a moment where you just felt great about doing what you're doing in your business, and you went into that state, that positive state that puts you in that mode where you want to do more work, you got the energy, it's free flowing, you're ready to go? Purposely, while you come into that first step in your first part of your day after you've cleared your mind, don't let the very next thought be the next thing you plan to do. Let it be the experience of success, that expectancy that you have when things are going well. Set your state correctly. Okay, why are we entrepreneurs? Not just because we want to make money, but because it feels good. Sometimes it feels so incredibly good. We speak with people about the things they do if they're not an entrepreneur, say they just run a regular job or they're just an employee somewhere. And we listen to them talk about their work and their jobs, and we think back to the times when our business or our relationships or those aha moments were so powerful for us that we realize there is no way we would ever be satisfied going back to being an employee, because we couldn't give that up. Those moments of sacrifice that we've had to make, those weeks where we worked and didn't earn any money, but we still gave it our all, that broke through to something incredible. be expectant that good things are going to happen and get your mindset on that early in the day. Today will be incredible if you start with a clear mind and focus on the present. Everyone says that. Stay present. Me and my wife are currently reading a lot of stuff concerning staying present, okay, and being focused in the now, being focused on staying in this moment, right? Because prospectively, this is the only moment that really exists. What are you going to do with the time you have at this moment? That question needs to be consistently persistent in your mind as you go through your day. If you find yourself getting caught up too much in things that happened in the past, that's an illusion. Illusions do not create an income. Okay, if you're too caught up in things coming in the future, well, you know, you need to spend time on planning and strategy. But if you're trying to get something else accomplished and you're caught up in that future perspective, you are also creating illusion, and illusion does not create an income. Okay, when you're building a business, there are many rewards. Okay, as Jim Rohn says, there's many equities in life. Money's just one of them. One of the reasons he talks about it being one that he likes so much is because it's one that you can measure. If you want to get something incredible out of your business, one of the things that you've got to keep precedent is that it is focused on a number of very important, fulfilling things, primarily being in the arena of generating an income. Because if you're not generating an income with the business that you have, well, then you're creating too much of a frustration around what could be a beautiful experience for yourself. So stay focused in the moment. Stay present. The past is gone, the future is becoming, and the present is everything. We love when we work with entrepreneurs here in our company that are excited about what they got going on for the day, that are so incredibly excited when they speak with us that what happens between now and the time that they're done with the end of the day, that's all they want to talk about. Okay, I talk to entrepreneurs sometimes, and I could tell they get this solemn experience where they talk a little bit more about the future, what they want, their vision. Believe me, that is critical. You have to not want to know what your outcomes are. As Tony Robbins says, the outcomes are, you know, they define everything. If you guys ever get into his RPM stuff, that stuff's really cool. But the reality is, the entrepreneurs that really are out there slugging it are talking about what's going to happen today. I get on the phone with them, and I help a tremendous number of entrepreneurs, either the ones I have in Epic Life or others that I've done services for. And the ones I know are really in it, are really hitting it, are the ones that were so excited about what their plans are today that that's all they can really talk about. And they're expectant, they're excited, they're moving forward with something that's about to happen, as opposed to that solemn perspective speaking about some grand future far off in Never Land that they're not quite sure is going to happen, or so helpful that it will happen, whatever their perspective might be on it. It's always great to speak with them, and even for me to think about the future that we have. But when you're so expectant and have so much going on that you have to stay present in the moment, in the day that you're in, and that's what you're excited about, well, that's a clue right there that you're on the right track. Okay, so always start with a clear mind. No matter what else is going on, realize clutter in the mind will cause more problems for you than clutter on your desk, clutter in your life, clutter on your computer. Okay? Tony Robbins says something I really like. He says that success is 20% mechanics and 80% psychology. 80% psychology. The perspective you have on how your actions and activities are going to procure the success for your business. That's a critical point to know. Let's get out there and make it a good day. I want you guys to focus with me. It's Wednesday. Don't call it hump day. Okay? Promise me that you'll tell anybody that says the word hump day to you that Beto says to never say that again. Okay, don't look at Wednesday as some transition into the weekend. Okay, stop looking at the weekend the same way. You want to be a successful entrepreneur? I'm not saying don't take your downtime. I don't work at all on Sundays. Even if my work isn't done, I take a whole day off. I have to. Everyone does. But don't look at things from that transitory position. Don't let your perspective of what the week looks like control your opportunities on a daily basis. It's a bad idea. Don't label your weeks. Don't give Friday the power people give it. Don't give Wednesday the power people give it. Make every day a manifestation of as much experience, as much value as you can. There is no labels to be given. Let's make it a good week. Write down some things that you learned today. I will be back right here with you tomorrow morning. See if you can incorporate some of it to make your day powerful. I'm expecting to have a really good day, and I really hope that the rest of you will join me again tomorrow morning.